It's me, Aunt Lacey. Okay, going to read a Bible story about an amazing fish that was caught by some fishermen. Do you like fish? What is your favorite kind of fish? I like salmon. When I was younger, I lived near the ocean, and every summer my dad would take me fishing for salmon. We never caught any, but it was still fun to go out on the boat with him. The fishermen in today's story didn't catch just any fish. They caught a very special fish. So let's dive right in. The Big Fish Story. Once upon a time, there were two fishermen who went out to work on their boat. They worked hard all day long, but they didn't catch many fish. It made them very sad because they needed food for their families. As the sun began to set, they decided to head back home. As they were rowing the boat, suddenly the men felt the line on one of the sides of the boat start to move. They both sat up and started to pay attention. One of the men said, "I think we have a bite. Let's pull in the net." They pulled and pulled, but whatever was on the other side of the net was very heavy. It took all of their strength to bring it up to the surface. And when they finally did, they couldn't believe their eyes. It was a big fish, bigger than either one of the fishermen. The fish had scales like silver dollars, and its fins were as red as rubies. It was the most beautiful fish they had ever seen. The fish flopped around on the floor of the boat and splashed water everywhere. The fishermen were so excited. This would be enough fish to feed all of their families and then some. One of the fishermen reached for his knife, but the other stopped him. He said, "No, we can't do that. We need to let this fish go. It's too big." The first fisherman asked, "Why?"
Are you crazy?
"We could sell this fish for so much money." But the second fisherman shook his head.
Okay.
He said, "No, we have to let it go. Look at the size of that thing.
Okay.
If God allowed this fish to live, then we should follow his plan." The first fisherman thought about what the other man had said. It did seem wrong to kill such a beautiful creature. Plus, he thought, if we keep this fish, maybe it will get away from us. So they carefully put the fish back into the sea and watched as it swam away. After the fish disappeared beneath the waves, the fishermen started to feel bad. They thought they had made a mistake. Maybe they could have used some of the fish for themselves and given the rest away. Or maybe they could have sold it and used the money to buy new nets. But now it was too late. All they had was an empty boat and a dream of a big fish. They started to row home, but they didn't talk much. Each of them thought about how disappointed their families would be. When they got back to the shore, they started to unload their nets. One of the fishermen saw something shiny in the bottom of the boat. It was a small pouch made out of fish skin. It looked old, but it was also very well made. He opened the pouch and found a scroll inside. On the scroll was writing, and it read, "For letting me go, I will make sure you always have fish to eat. Whenever you cast your net into the sea, you will have a full catch. You will never go hungry again. The fishermen read the message to each other and were amazed. It was a miracle. They knew the fish had brought them a special gift, and they couldn't wait to tell everyone what had happened. Later that night, they told everyone in town about the miraculous fish and the mysterious scroll. Everyone was amazed. They couldn't believe a fish could talk, let alone leave them a note. But people weren't the only ones who were amazed. Even God was amazed. The next morning, the fishermen went back out onto the sea. They weren't expecting anything special, but they wanted to see if the note was true. They cast their nets into the water and waited. This time, they didn't have to wait long. Their nets were heavy, and when they pulled them out of the water, they were filled with fish. There were so many fish, they didn't even know what to do with them all.
Okay.
They used some of the fish to feed the people in town.
Okay.
They gave some to their friends and neighbors, and they even shared some with people they didn't know.
Oh, Todd.
And after all that, they still had more fish than they knew what to do with.
Ouch. Okay.
From that day forward, the fishermen never went hungry. They always had fish to eat, and they had enough to share with everyone they knew. The fishermen had followed God's laws, and God had rewarded them for their obedience. You may not know it, but God loves to bless people who follow His rules. Sometimes those blessings come in the form of toys or games, or maybe a new bike or shoes. Other times, God's blessings look like extra help on a test or an unexpected day off from school. And sometimes God's blessings are even bigger. Do you remember when God parted the Red Sea so the Israelites could escape from Egypt? Or when God sent manna and quail for the Israelites to eat while they were in the desert? Those were pretty big blessings. Just like the Israelites, we may forget God's blessings sometimes. It's easy to focus on the things we don't have instead of the things we do. If we remember all the blessings God has given us, we would have much more to be thankful for. Maybe you'll want to write down all the things God has blessed you with, like a home, food, family, friends, or maybe even a pet. If you have trouble thinking of things, ask a parent or a friend to help you. Writing down God's blessings can help us remember He takes care of us and loves us very much. So, do you have a favorite blessing you would like to share with everyone? Remember, God loves to bless people who follow Him. Maybe you'll get a chance to experience one of His amazing blessings soon. Well, that's our story for today. I hope you enjoyed listening to it as much as I enjoyed bringing it to you. Remember, God loves you very much. Give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Click the bell button so you can get a notification whenever I post a new video. Thank you for watching.